I've noticed in life, anytime I say, I'm not going to do this, I end up doing it. So, for example, I remember growing up, I went to a funeral and I saw someone like sing at the funeral, and I remember saying to myself, I will never, ever sing at a funeral. And it was like, unfortunately, so many people were dying, and I was consistently asked to speak at or sing at these funerals. And I was like, wow, this is wild. I just said I would never do it, and here I am singing at tons of funerals. Another thing I remember was once I had gotten married and we moved to Asheville, North Carolina. I said, I will never move back to Greenville, North Carolina, where I'm from. And of course, I ended up, after the divorce, moving back to Greenville for 2 years. I also said I would never homeschool. That's not me. I'm not that kind of mother. I was not called for this, you know. And then it was last year when I posted a story of Charlie. I was helping her read for the school that she was in. And I remember writing on the story, I could never homeschool. And it was actually from that moment, the Lord began to deal with me that was the direction that he wanted me to go. And so I say all this to say that, first of all, it's kind of dangerous saying, I will never do X, Y, and Z. But also, you know, what is the root? Like, what is the motive for us saying we will never do such things? I think it's a lot of times rooted in fear, or rooted in feeling we're not adequate. There's this either not worthy feeling, or I'm not there. I just feel inadequate to do that, and so it's not reliance on the Lord. And so I've found it to be so interesting in my life that God has continually done the very thing that I said I will never do. Because what happens is when that thing does happen and it begins to take place, I'm finding I have to rely more on him. That it's not in my strength or my power that I can do this. I have to rely on him to help me to do this. So I just want to encourage you today, if you're in a season or in a place where you're like, gosh, I said I would never do this, and here I am doing it. Where there's less of you, there's more of him. So just give him the reins and let him lead you, let him control the situation. And you just sit back and rest and know that he wouldn't call you or ask you to do anything that you're not capable of doing, especially if you're in a place where you think it's all like, I am able to drive this ship. Only I can do this. Like, no, he wouldn't call you to a place that he's not leading you to if you are not relying on him. So rely on him, and in that unknown, in that season, and just know that he's going to take you where you need to go.